Hello students, in today's lecture we are discuss about the very important theorem about the S intersection T and S plus T, means dimension of S intersection T and dimension of S plus T, and which is very useful for finding the dimensions of an both S plus T and the S intersection T when one of the dimension of an S and T is given. Okay, so first of all we look at the statement of the theorem. So what is an statement? Let S and T be a finitely generated subspaces of a vector space V, then S intersection T and S plus T are finitely generated subspaces, and we have dimension of S plus T plus dimension of S intersection T is equal to dimension of S plus dimension of T. Okay, so what is we have given? We have given S and T are first of all finitely generated subspace of the vector space V. So what is an finitely generated subspaces? First of all, these are the subspaces, and finitely generated means what? There exists an basis for the S and T which contains finite number of elements. So S and T are the finitely generated subspace of vector space V. Then what we have to show? S intersection T and S plus T are the finitely generated subspaces. This is what we have first show. S intersection T and S plus T is again finitely generated subspaces. Okay, and we have dimension of S plus T plus dimension of S intersection T is equal to dimension of S plus dimension of an T. This is a very useful formula for finding the dimensions of an S plus T. If we have given S intersection T, dimension of S intersection T, by using this formula we can find the dimension of S plus T. Or in contrast way, if we have given a dimension of an S plus T, then by using this formula we can find the dimension of S intersection T, and vice versa. If we have for finding the dimension of an T or finding the dimension of an S, we can use this formula and find this. Okay, so the proof is case first. In the case first, we consider S intersection T. Let S intersection T is not equal to singleton 0. Okay, consider the first case as S intersection T is not equal to singleton 0. Now let S and T be a finitely generated subspaces of the vector space V. This is already given. Then we know that as S and T are subspaces of the vector space V, their intersection is again a subspace of the vector space V. This is already proved. Okay, by look at this lecture, when we have given S and T are subspaces, we proved that S intersection T is again a subspace. Okay, so by using this fact, S intersection T is also a subspace of the vector space V. Now S intersection T is a subspace of S and T. Why this happened? Since we know that S intersection T is contained in S and contained in T also. Okay, therefore S intersection T is again a subspace of an S and T. Now therefore S intersection T is also finite dimensional vector space. Okay, we know that the subspace of the finite dimensional vector space is again an finite dimensional. Okay, this is an result. Okay, this is a straightforward result. If the subspaces of the finite dimensional vector space is again finite dimensional, therefore S intersection T is also finite dimensional. Now as S intersection T is finite dimensional means what? It contains a finite number of elements in its basis. Okay, so there exists a basis A is equal to, which consisting of these R elements E1, E2 up to ER is a basis of an S intersection T. Okay, so there exists on basis this of S intersection T, as S intersection T is finite dimensional vector space. Okay, now as this set is a basis of S intersection T, so what is the definition of an basis? Every basis is a linearly independent set. Okay, this is the first condition for showing a basis. Therefore this set A is a linearly independent set in S intersection T. Therefore this is a linearly independent set. Now A is linearly independent set in S, as A is linearly independent set in S intersection T. Okay, therefore it is linearly independent in S and also in T. Okay, therefore first of all we consider A is linearly independent set in S. Now as A is linearly independent set in S, we know the theorem. This theorem is already you have done in the SYBSC. Okay, so every linearly independent set every linearly independent set in the any set should be extended to form a basis of that set. Okay, this is an theorem. Therefore, by using that theorem, it can be extended to form a basis of S. As A is linearly independent set in S, by using the theorem, every linearly independent set can be extended to form a basis of that set. Okay, so by using that theorem, it can be extended to form a basis of an S. Therefore, extended means what? We can add the any number of vectors, okay, in that set, given set, so that it can form a basis of the set S. Therefore, here it consisting of an R vectors. Here the set A is consisting of an R vector. Therefore, put the another set of vectors in that set so that it can form a basis for the set S. Therefore, let B is equal to the set E1, E2, ER, F1, F2, Fs. These vectors, these S vectors should be added to that set E1, E2, ER, so that this whole set can form some basis for the set S. Okay, therefore B is an basis for the set S. So what is the dimension of an S? It consisting of how many elements? Dimension is nothing but the number of element in that basis of that set. Okay, so look at here, these are total R vectors, and these are from F1 to Fs, these are total S vectors. So how many vectors are present in the basis of S? R plus S. These R vectors plus S vectors. So dimension of an S is a R plus S. Suppose this is an equation first. Now also, what is the next? Also, A is equal to the set E1, E2, ER is an basis of S intersection T. This is already known. Okay, this is an basis of S intersection T. Therefore, by using the same procedure as this, here we consider A is linearly independent set in S. Now consider A is a linearly independent set in T. Okay, since S intersection T is in subspace of n T, therefore A is a linearly independent set in T. Okay, A is linearly independent set in T. Now, by using the procedure above, by using the theorem, any linearly independent set can be extended to form the basis of that set. Okay, so it can be extended to form an basis of T. Now let's consider C is equal to the set. Put at some vectors to that set A so that it can form some basis of an T. Okay, therefore consider the vectors of the set E1, E2, ER. Then add some T vectors to that set. Okay, consider these T vectors as an G1, G2 up to GT. These are nothing but the total T number of vectors, and these are the R number of vectors. So put the T vectors in that set so that the set C can form some basis for the set or the subspace T. Now, what is the dimension of an C? So the dimension of an C is what? Total number of vectors in that set. So how many vectors are present in that set? These are vectors E1 to ER, these are R vectors, and G1 to GT. How many vectors? T vectors. Okay, so the dimension of T is what? The dimension of T is equal to R plus T. Therefore, suppose this is an equation second. Now find out the dimension of, find the dimension of this. Dimension of S plus dimension of T minus dimension of an S intersection T. Now what is the dimension of an S? By using equation first. Now look at here, dimension of an S is R plus S. Put the value of this R plus S. Then dimension of an T by using equation second. Dimension of T is what? R plus T. Put this as here. Then this is R plus T minus dimension of S intersection T. What is the dimension of an S intersection T? Dimension of S intersection T means what? The number of elements in the basis of S intersection T. Now here look at here, the basis of S intersection T is this. The set A is equal to E1, E2, ER. This is the basis for the S intersection T. So how many elements are present here? Total number of R elements. Okay, so dimension of an S intersection T consisting of R elements. So put here minus of R, then take a subtraction of this. This is R plus R minus of R. This is R plus S plus T. Therefore consider this as an equation third. Therefore dimension of S plus dimension of T minus dimension of S intersection T is equal to what? R plus S plus T. Therefore this is an equation third. Now consider look at this, what we have to prove. We have to prove that dimension of s plus t plus dimension of s intersection t is equal to dimension of s plus dimension of n t. By using equation third, what we have shown? We have shown dimension of, we have to prove that dimension of s plus t plus dimension of s intersection t is equal to dimension of s plus dimension of n t. That is what we have to prove. That is, we have to prove that dimension of s plus t is equal to dimension of s plus dimension of t minus, here addition sign we need to get to that side, therefore it becomes a minus of dimension of s intersection t. That is, we have to show that the dimension of the set s plus t is equal to the dimension of this whole set. Okay, by using equation third, what we have showed, dimension of this set, dimension of s plus dimension of t plus dimension of s intersection t, what is this, is equal to r plus s plus t. Okay, the dimension of this set is r plus s plus t. So what we have to show? We have to show that dimension of s plus t is equal to this r plus s plus t. Then our theorem first case is true. Okay, so now what we have to show? We have to show that dimension of s plus t is equal to r plus s plus t. This is we have to show. Now look at here. Now, so what we have to prove? We have to prove that dimension of s plus t. So we have to prove that dimension of s plus t is equal to r plus s plus t. Now to prove, so as we have to prove that dimension of this set is equal to r plus s plus t, what we have to show? We have to show that the basis of s plus t must contain this number of elements, that is r plus s plus t. Okay, that is we have to prove that the set, consider M, consider the notation M is equal to the set. How many elements present here? R plus s plus t. Look at here, the elements E1, E2, Er. These are total R number of elements. Then the next elements are F1, F2, Fs. These are total S number of elements. Then the next elements are G1, G2 up to Gt, which are total T number of elements. Okay, so we have to show that this total number of elements are R plus S plus T. Then we have to show that this is the basis for the S plus T. Therefore, by using this fact, we show that dimension of S plus T is equal to R plus S plus T. Now, what is will be a condition for showing an basis for the S plus T? First of all, we have to show that this set can spans S plus T. Okay, and the second condition, this set should be a linearly independent set. Okay, so what is that condition for showing the any set should spans that set? For we consider the any vector in the S plus T and can be showed, it can be expressed in the linear combination of this vector. This is a condition for the spanning set. Okay, for showing this set spans S plus T, for this we have to show that, look at the any arbitrary element of S plus T and shown that it should be and can be written in the linear combination of these vectors. Okay, so take the element, let x belongs to S plus T. Consider x as an arbitrary element which is belongs to S plus T. Now we know that the elements of an S plus T, how it should be look like? It should be look like it's equal to U plus W, where U is belongs to S and W belongs to T. Okay, now U belongs to S. Here look at here, U is belongs to S. But we know that what is an basis for the S? B is an basis for the S, as U belongs to S. And the basis of S, what is an basis of S? We know that the basis of S is, look at here, the basis of S is what? B is equal to E1, E2, ER, F1, F2, Fs is an basis of the S. Okay, therefore this U vector can be written in the linear combination of these vectors. Okay, so the u vector can be written in the form of the u vector as u belongs to S. It can be written in the linear combination of an basis of the S. Therefore, as we know that B is equal to, how the elements are look like, is equal to E1, E2 up to so on ER, and F1, F2 up to so on Fs. Okay, so u vector can be written as alpha 1 E1 plus alpha 2 E2 up to alpha r ER plus beta 1 F1 plus beta 2 F2 up to beta S Fs. Okay, why? Since B is a basis for the S and the u belongs to S, where alpha and beta g, these scalars are belongs to field F for I running from 1 to R and J running from 1 to S. Similarly, as W belongs to T, okay, and we know that the C is a basis for the T. We know that C is a basis of an T. How the which elements are present in the C? The elements are present in the C are E1, E2, ER, G1, G2, GT. Therefore, W can be written in the linear combination of these vectors. Okay, so write and W in the linear combination of and these vectors. So W can be written as R1 E1 plus R2 E2 plus up to so on RR ER plus delta 1 G1 plus delta 2 G2 up to so on delta T GT. Now consider this as an equation 5. Okay, consider this equation. Linear combination of an U can be considered as a fourth equation, and linear combination of an elements of W can be considered as a fifth equation, where Ri and Bi is 2. We know that here Ri and this delta i's, these are the scalars. Therefore, these are belongs to field F, where I is running from. Okay, this R and suffix is I, where I is running from 1 to R and the J are running from the 1 to T. Okay, now we have to show that these two vectors. Okay, therefore we have to show that this X is a linear combination of the basis of the M. For showing this set spans M. Okay, so consider X is equal to U plus W. Put the values of an U and W in that equation. Therefore, the value of an U is this: alpha 1 E1 plus alpha 2 E2 plus alpha r ER plus beta 1 F1 plus beta 2 F2 plus up to so on beta r F1 plus W, value of n W is R1 E1 plus R2 E2 up to RR ER plus delta 1 G1 plus up to so on delta T GT, which is equal to, now consider, now here look at here, in that two brackets E1 is common, then E2 is common, up to so on ER is common. Okay, so consider the first term in both the brackets. Therefore, consider E1 outside the bracket or take a common from that two terms, and the common part should be taken inside the bracket. Therefore, this is R1, this is alpha 1 plus R1 into E1. From the second two terms, this should be alpha 2 plus R2 into E2 up to so on. In the last term, this should be alpha R plus RR into ER plus these two terms are as it is: beta 1 F1 plus beta 2 F2 up to beta S Fs up to so on here beta S Fs plus here this term is also as it is: delta 1 G1 plus delta 2 G2 up to so on delta T GT, where this alpha I plus Ri belongs to field F. These are also scalar, therefore these are belongs to field F, and beta I belongs to field F, delta I belongs to field F. Now look at here, we have to show that, now look at here, we have to show that this M can forms, or this M can spans S plus T. That is, every vector of S plus T can be written in the linear combination of these vectors. Now here we consider X as a member of an S plus T. Therefore, now consider the every vector. I consider the vector S. It can be written in the linear combination of the elements of an M. Here consider the first member is a first element or the term of this expansion should be in the can be written as a multiplier of an E1, then second term as a multiplier of an E2 up to so on. The R term should be multiplied of an ER. Then the next term also is a multiplied of an F1, F2 up to so on Fs, and then G1, G2 up to so on GT. Therefore, look at here, X is the member which can be written in the linear combination of these vectors: E1, E2, ER, F1, F2, Fs, and G1, G2, gt. Okay, so look at here, this set is also consisting of these vectors e1 e2 r f1 f2 fs g1 g2 gt. That is, every arbitrary member x belongs to s plus t can be written in the linear combination of all these vectors. Okay, so this set M can span s plus t. Okay, thus x is an arbitrary element of an s plus t. Therefore, s plus t is equal to L of M. L of M means M spans S plus T. Okay. Therefore, M spans S plus T. Therefore, the first condition for showing the basis is satisfied. Now, we have to show that this set is linearly independent. This is a second case that we have to show. For showing, now we have to show that this set is a linearly independent set. Okay. So, for showing this, what we have to show? We have to show that for showing this set is linearly independent means what? We have to show that this set is a linearly independent. That is, we have to show that consider this linear combination of all this vector, put at it equal to 0, and the multipliers for all the scalars. What we have to show? This we have to show as an 0 scalars. Okay. So now consider for showing linearly independence. What we have to show? First, linear combination upon this R vector. Consider this as a summation alpha I ei for some I running from what? I running from 1 to R. Okay, where I running from 1 to R plus linear combination of this S vectors. Consider as a summation I running from 1 to S beta I fi plus linear combination of this T vectors. Consider plus summation I running from 1 to T gamma I gi, and consider it as an equal to 0. Now we have to show that these all scalars are what? These all scalars are the linearly independent. That is, we have to show that these all scalars must be an 0. Okay. Now consider summation alpha A as it is plus summation beta fi as it is, and put this term right side. Okay. Therefore, this is equal to minus of summation gamma I gi. Now look at here. We know that the gi are the members of the set C. Set C is E1, E2, ER, G1, G2, GT, which is nothing but the basis for the T. Okay. As it forms a basis of T, this linear combination belongs to T. Okay. Therefore, the RHS belongs to T. Okay. The RHS belongs to T. Now look at the LHS. The LHS is consisting of an EI vectors and the FI vectors. But we know that this EI and FI vectors can form a basis for the S, this which is B. This set is nothing but the B, E1 into ER, F1, F2, Fs, which can form a basis for the S, and therefore this LHS, LHS. Therefore, this LHS belongs to S. Okay. So, as LHS belongs to S and the RHS belongs to T, therefore this whole term belongs to S intersection T. Okay. Now, as this whole term belongs to S intersection T, but we know that A is equal to the set E1, E2, ER is a basis of S intersection T. We know that this forms a basis of the S intersection T. So, as this can form a basis of the S intersection T, we know that this whole term belongs to S intersection T. Therefore, these whole terms can be written as this summation alpha ei plus summation beta fi is equal to, as this term belongs to S intersection T and this is the basis for the S intersection T, this implies this term can be equal to of the form summation I running from 1 to R ai into ei. Why this is possible? Since this term belongs to S intersection T and S intersection T has this basis, this set as a basis E1 into ER. Therefore, every element of this form can be written in the linear combination of these vectors E1, E2, ER. Therefore, this can be written in the form summation AI, EI, I running from 1 to N. I running from 1 to R for some AI belongs to field. Suppose this is equation 6. Now, substituting equation 6 in the equation 5. What is an equation 6? This is an equation 6, and what is an equation 5? This is an equation 5. So, put the value of an equation 6 in the equation 5. So put the values or they replace this value by ai ei in the equation 5. So what is an equation we get? We get summation ai ei is equal to minus of summation gamma I gn. Okay, now here this is an minus sign. Therefore, when we take it to the left hand side, it should be positive. Therefore, it is equal to summation I running from 1 to r ai ei plus summation I running from 1 to I gamma I gi, which is equal to 0. Now, we know that what we know, C is equal to the set E1, E2, ER and G1, G2, GT is an basis for the T. We know that this set C is an basis of T. Now, and C is linearly independent set. Okay, as this can form some basis for T. Obviously, this is a linearly independent set, and as C is linearly independent set implies that the scalars must be 0, ai and gamma I must be 0. This is implies ai is equal to 0 for all I running from 1 to r, as I running from 1 to r, and gamma I is equal to 0 for I running from 1 to t. Suppose this is an equation 7. Now, what we have done? Substituting the values of gamma I in equation 5, what we get? Now put the values. Put gamma I is equal to 0 in the equation 5. What is an equation 5? The equation 5 is this. Put gamma I is equal to 0 in the equation 5. What we get? Summation alpha ei plus summation beta fi is equal to 0, since gamma I is equal to 0. So, by using this equation, we have summation alpha ei plus summation beta fi is equal to 0. Now, similarly, as b is equal to, we know that b is equal to the set E1, E2, ER, F1, F2, Fs is an basis of S. We know that this set is nothing but the basis for the S. Therefore, as it is an basis, the set is linearly independent. Now, as this is linearly independent and this linear combination is nothing but the linear combination of this vector, therefore this scalars alpha and the beta must be 0. As this set can form some basis for the S, and S every basis is linearly independent, and this is nothing but the linear combination of this vector, therefore the multiplied scalars must be 0. Therefore alpha is equal to 0 and beta I is equal to 0. Therefore here, now from this, by this condition we get alpha is equal to 0, beta is equal to 0, and by using the equation 7 we have gamma is equal to 0. Therefore in the equation 5, look at here what we have to show. This set is linearly independent, that is we have to show this alpha is 0, beta is 0 and gamma is 0. Therefore by using this all this fact, we have from this equation alpha is 0, beta is 0 and the gamma is 0. Therefore all these scalars we get as an 0. Therefore we have alpha is 0, beta is 0 and gamma is also equal to 0. Therefore the set E1, E2, ER, F1, F2, Fs and G1, G1, G2 up to GT is a linearly independent set. Therefore the second case of linearly independence is also proved for this scalars and or this vectors of the set M. Therefore S can form some basis for the S plus T. Therefore here M, this set is M. Okay, therefore M is a basis for the S plus T. So what is a dimension for the S plus T? The number of elements in that basis. So how many elements are present? This total R number of elements, this total S number of elements, and these are the T number of elements. So how many elements are present? R plus S plus T. Okay, so dimension of S plus T is equal to R plus S plus T. But what is this? R is nothing but the dimension of an S, plus T is, but this is nothing but the dimension of S plus dimension of T minus of dimension of an S intersection T. From the equation, from which equation? From equation 3. That's we have to show. Therefore we have dimension of S plus T is equal to dimension of S plus dimension of T minus dimension of an S intersection T. Therefore the first case is proved for this theorem. When we consider S intersection T is not equal to 0. For this condition the theorem is proved. Now consider the second condition. What is in case second? S intersection T is equal to 0, singleton 0. Now consider if S intersection T is equal to singleton 0. So what is the dimension of S intersection T? As it contains a single vector as a zero vector, so its dimension must be an 0. So we'll consider by the same procedure as the first case. Let E1, E2, Em is on basis of the S, and F1, F2, Fn is on basis of the T. So what is the dimension of an S? Number of vectors in X. What is the dimension? So dimension of S is equal to M and dimension of an T is equal to N. So what we have to claim? We have to claim that, as we have to claim that, what do we have to show? We have to show that, look at here, dimension of S plus T plus dimension of S intersection T is equal to dimension of S plus dimension of T minus, we have to show this. Now here dimension of an S intersection T, what? Here dimension is 0, therefore dimension of an S plus T, as S intersection T is equal to singleton 0, you consider this case as, therefore its dimension must be 0. Therefore put dimension of S intersection T is equal to 0, which is equal to dimension of S plus dimension of n T. But we know that what is the dimension of S is M and dimension of T is N. Therefore what we have to show? We have to show that dimension of an S plus T is equal to M plus N. Now in that case we have to show dimension of S plus T is equal to M plus N. So we claim that dimension of S plus T is M plus N. Now that is we will prove. What we will prove? The basis for the S plus T contains how many elements? M plus N elements. Okay. So we will prove that. Let's consider S dash is equal to E1, E2, Em, F1, F2, Fn is an basis for the S plus T. Therefore by using the same procedure as above, we have to show that this forms and basis, that is we have to show that this set must be linearly independent and can span S plus T. For showing this set spans S plus T means what? We have to show that for every arbitrary element X in the S plus T can be expressed in the linear combination of these vectors. Okay. So consider X belongs to S plus T. Therefore let X is equal to, how the element look like, is equal to U plus W for U belongs to S and the W belongs to T. Now as U belongs to S, we know that the basis for the S is what? E1, E2, Em. We know that E1, E2, Em is an basis for the S. So U belongs to S, E1, E2, Em is an basis of the S. Therefore U can be written in the linear combination of this M vectors. So U is equal to alpha 1 E1 plus alpha 2 E2 up to so on alpha M Em. Suppose this equation 9, and W can be written as beta 1 F1 plus beta 2 F2 up to so on beta n Fn, which is equation 10. So X can be what is X? X is equal to U plus W. So X is equal to U plus W. Put the values of an U and W in that equation. So which is equal to alpha 1 E1 plus alpha 2 E2 alpha M M plus beta 1 F1 plus beta 2 F2 up to so on beta n Fn. Now look at here, we have to show that X is a linear combination of these all vectors. X is a linear combination of these vectors. So consider here X is equal to, consider here, look at here the first element or the first factor should be element, or the first term is a multiplier of an E1, then second term is a multiplier of E2 up to so on M term is a multiplier of an EM, then M plus 1 term is a multiplier of F1, F2 up to so on Fn. Therefore the X vector can be expressed in the linear combination of these vectors which are the elements of the S dash. Therefore every arbitrary element of an S plus T, every arbitrary element of an X plus T can be expressed in the linear combination of these vectors. Therefore this S dash can spans S plus T. Therefore by using this fact, S dash can forms or spans S plus T. Therefore the first condition is satisfied. Okay. Now what we have to show? We have to prove that M is, now what we have to prove? Thus X is an arbitrary element of an S plus T, and therefore X can be written in the linear combination of the elements of this the linear combination of the elements of S dash. Therefore, S dash can span S plus T. Okay, so S plus T is equal to linear span of S dash. Okay, now what we have to show, the first condition for the linear span is satisfied. Now we have to show that this set is linearly independent. For showing linearly independence, we have to take a linear combination of that set, put it is equal to 0, and we have to show that the scalars alpha I and beta I must be 0. So take a linear combination of the set elements summation I running from 1 to m alpha ei plus summation beta I fi, which is equal to 0. Therefore, by using this, we have summation alpha ei I running from 1 to m is equal to, take this out that side right hand side, therefore it's equal to minus of summation beta I fi running from 1 to m. Now look at here, this beta I fi or this fi can forms a basis for which set? This fi can forms and basis for the T. Okay, look at here, this set f1 f2 up to fn can forms a basis for the T. Okay, therefore this linear combination beta I fi can belongs to T, therefore RHS belongs to T. Now look at here, LHS is summation alpha ei, that is linear combination of these elements ei, but this e1 e2 em can forms a basis for the S, and therefore LHS belongs to S. Therefore LHS belongs to S. Why this? Since E1, E2 up to so on, E1, E2 up to so on EM can forms basis for S, and the set F1, F2 up to so on Fn can forms an basis for T. Okay, thus this LHS belongs to S, RHS belongs to T, therefore this term is belongs to S intersection T. But here we consider S intersection T is equal to singleton 0, therefore this both terms must be equate to 0. Therefore we have summation alpha I is equal to 0 and summation beta I fi is equal to 0. Now as summation alpha I is equal to 0 implies that, but this ei can form some basis, therefore this ei cannot be 0, therefore the scalars must be 0, therefore alpha I is equal to 0 for I running from 1 to m. Since e1 e2 em being a basis of S and S is linearly independent. Why this possible? Since this set e1 e2 em is a basis for S and every basis is linearly independent, therefore if we consider this linear combination of this vector and put it is equal to 0, therefore the scalars must be an 0, implies that alpha is equal to 0. Similarly, so as summation beta I fi is equal to 0, we have beta I is equal to 0 for I running from 1 to n. And why this is possible? Since f1 f2 fn being a basis of T and it is linearly independent. Since f1 f2 fn is a basis for T and this is linearly independent, implies that this set S dash, therefore we have beta I is equal to 0 for I running from 1 to n, and hence S dash is can forms and basis. Therefore as both alpha and beta I are 0, implies that this linear combination is equal to 0, implies the scalars are 0, implies that this set must be an linearly independent. Therefore the set S dash can forms and basis of an S plus T. This is what we have to show. Thus, as S dash can forms and basis for the S plus T, so what is a dimension for the S plus T? As we know that S dash is equal to the set E1, E2 up to so on EM and F1, F2 up to so on Fn. So how many elements present in the S dash? These are the m elements and these are the n elements. Therefore in the total set how many elements are present? M plus n, and we know that S plus T is equal to span of S dash. Okay, therefore as span of S dash and this set is linearly independent, so the dimension of an S plus T is nothing but the number of elements in the set S dash. So how many elements are present? M plus n. So dimension of S plus T is equal to m plus n, and we know that m is nothing but the dimension of S and n is nothing but the dimension of an T. This is dimension of an T. So that's why we have to show. Therefore, by using this fact, we have dimension of s plus t is equal to dimension of s plus dimension of n t. Therefore, by using the both conditions, we proved that dimension of dimension of s plus t plus dimension of s intersection t is equal to dimension of s plus dimension of n t. Okay, so this is very important reason. So go through the proof and take two conditions separately. First of all, we take a condition of n. Which condition we will take? First of all, we consider the condition of an s intersection t is not equal to singleton 0. First of all, we go through for this case by taking the basis for the s plus t, and in the second case, we consider the s intersection t is equal to singleton 0. Therefore, both the cases we have to take a separate proof for this, and by going through both the cases, we can done this proof. Okay, so this is a very important result which is used for solving the problems. If we have a dimension for the if you have given the dimension for the s dimension of n t, and we have to find the dimension of an either s plus t or the s intersection t. Okay, so this is a proof for that theorem.